These purpose-built touring machines, I tell you, are something else, and the kind of riding experience they offer is unparalleled. Now you may wonder, what's the point of owning and riding such a large and heavy machine on our roads? But I'm here to tell you that motorcycles like these do make a case for themselves. Let's begin by talking about the way this motorcycle looks. Elegant and regal are words that come to mind when you look at such motorcycles. Indian motorcycles in particular are known for their distinct design that truly stand out, and I think it is the same case with the Roadmaster in this Dark Horse theme. The enormous fairing is beautifully shaped with its curves and creases, and since this is the Dark Horse version, it does away with the chrome outline around the LED headlight and the twin aux lights that flank it. Below this fairing is where you'll find Indian's signature war bonnet ornament on the fender. While it adds a dollop of identity to the Roadmaster, it surprisingly doesn't light up as on the Indian Chieftain. You have to buy the illuminated one as an extra here. You'll also notice the large plastic bodywork around the front leg guard, with vents that open to channel cool air to the floorboard and the engine. The front end looks captivating, but it's only when you move to the side that you are left gobsmacked at the sheer length of this machine. The teardrop-shaped 20-litre fuel tank flows neatly to the sofa-rivaling seats, and beneath the tank, the new Thunderstroke 116 V-twin occupies pride of place. And then there are the huge panniers and the top box that add up to 137 litres of storage volume. As you can see, there's enough of storage space in this top box to accommodate two full-size helmets. Also, these panniers are of equal volume because this motorcycle has a monoshock instead of twin shocks in motorcycles like the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. And the best part is that you can remotely lock them. The wheels look particularly nice, with a contrast cut finish on the spokes adding a touch of bling to the bike's appearance. Moving to the tail end, it is an equally good looking angle, with the curved fender, the neatly integrated tail lights, and those blacked out dual exhausts peeking from the bottom of the panniers. Now, with a motorcycle this big, dressed in this lovely satin white color, and the fact that you'll find a needle in a haystack before finding one of these on our roads, the Indian Roadmaster is the epitome of being an attention magnet. I think this motorcycle looks beautiful in every sense of the word, and the amount of eyeballs that this motorcycle garners is unbelievable. Everyone from their kids to their grandparents are awestruck at the sight of this motorcycle, whether it's parked or on the move. Camera phones are quickly fished out for photo ops, and in an instant, you've become a celebrity of sorts. In the few years that I've been testing motorcycles of all kinds, I've never seen such levels of admiration and curiosity from road users. And what adds to the special feeling astride this motorcycle is the kind of features it offers. The 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system in between the two front speakers is responsive to a gloved hand and shows a plethora of information. You've also got Apple CarPlay for added convenience. Also, I'm a sucker for analog dials, and I'm glad to see that the bike has one for the speed and the engine revs. The windshield can be raised and lowered at the touch of a button, while the ignition is keyless. The bike also has segment-first heated and cooled seats called Climate Command Rogue seats. The cooling function, in fact, is something we've never experienced on a motorcycle. Sadly, although the system is present as standard on the Roadmaster Dark Horse, it was disconnected on this test bike for some reason, which meant we couldn't try it. The Roadmaster is feature-packed as it should, considering the money being splurged on buying it. And adding a sense of value to that money being spent is an absolute gem of an engine. The first thing that strikes you is the sound it makes when you fire it up. When you start feeding in the revs, you notice that this engine remains smooth and refined. There's barely any vibrations in the handlebar or that footboard over there. We should remember that what we're talking about is a
big 1800 plus cc V-twin engine.
Being a big V-twin also has its advantages in the tidal wave of torque that the engine produces.
This engine produces oodles of torque that begins flowing in from the moment you let out this light and progressive clutch. In fact, there's so much of bottom end grunt that you can travel at 30 kph in 4th gear without any issues. Also, when you're out on the highway, you can travel between 60 and 100 kph in 6th gear all day long at a leisurely pace. That is the beauty of such a nice and torquey motor.
The 3 ride modes, Standard, Tour and Sport, show a significant difference in the power delivery. The good thing is that even in Sport mode, the throttle response isn't uncontrollably sharp. All being said, the downside of being seated on a motorcycle with such a large air-cooled engine is the amount of heat it radiates. There were times when I regretted riding the bike in Mumbai's clogged streets, with the heat getting to unbearable levels. Now, while the rear cylinder deactivation function does help to some extent, our traffic conditions and weather are at the extreme end of the scale for it to have a significant effect on heat management. Ideally, long-distance highway rides is the purpose that this motorcycle serves best. And one of the features that adds to the experience is the incredible sound system.
One of the best bits about this motorcycle is the 200-watt music player. You've got 4 speakers, 2 over here and 2 for your pillion as well. So you have the surround sound effect. Let me give you a demo. As you can see, it's quite loud, and so loud that you can listen to music even when you're traveling at triple-digit speeds. That's the beauty of such a powerful sound system.
Now, looking at the specifications, it is only natural for you to feel intimidated by the 403 kilogram curb weight. But the moment you start moving, all that weight seemingly disappears. This motorcycle is so well balanced that you could be crawling at 5 kph with your feet on the floorboards, or flying around a sweeping corner at 140 kph with the bike sticking to an intended line. Part of the confidence in the bike is also down to the suspension setup. It absorbs bad roads in a much better manner than one expects, and it is certainly nicer than the big Harley Street Glide Special and Road Glide Special that we rode recently. Also, it doesn't get as unsettled by mid-corner bumps either. In fact, the amazing part is how easy it is to change direction despite the 1600 mm plus wheelbase. The only thing you need to be careful about is the limited cornering clearance on either side before the bottom of the footboard begins to scrape the road. Also, the 140 mm ground clearance, though decent, still requires one to err on the side of caution while negotiating extra tall speed breakers.
The brakes are just about adequate to haul this 400 plus kilogram motorcycle down to a halt. That said, when you're trying to slow down from high speeds in an emergency, you wish for a little more bite and feedback.
Of the various motorcycles that we had the pleasure of experiencing, the Indian Roadmaster Dark Horse stands out as one of those that are truly special. While there are few of such types of motorcycles with air-cooled engines on our roads, nothing can compare to the experience of riding this bike. And given that it costs over $500,000 on road, it will be quite an exclusive experience for the well-heeled.
It is hard to make sense of a motorcycle that's so big but also costs big bags of money to purchase. However, when you get on the Indian Roadmaster and ride it, is that you realize the special feeling it evokes. There are very few motorcycles out there that can make you feel as special as this motorcycle does. It is the best luxury touring motorcycle that money can buy at this moment. And for the few who can purchase this, also a way of making a statement.